Ever since Triple H took control of WWE, I don't think there was an event that had more hype than Extreme Rules, at least for me. What it came down to was a slow build for a bunch of the matches. I felt the event was the boiling point for the feuds, as many pay-per-views in the past felt like, oh, we need some matches without meaning, just matches on the show. This one wasn't that. 6 matches that had good reasons to be on the show. It's been 2 months and we've had a feel for Triple H's WWE. It feels looser, there's more optimism. There's little things here and there, but I don't really mind them because, as I said, it's much better now. We'll judge his run so far in the near future because now it's only been 2.5 months. We can't really say much about it at the moment. With that said, let's get into it. The first match on the show was the good old-fashioned Donnybrook tag team match. The Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch faced Imperium, Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci. The Sheamus and Gunther feud has been one of the best things in wrestling recently. The matches are draining to watch in a good way. You could feel the tension and pain these men endured through their matches. And this one was no different. It was everything I expected and more. This match caught my attention like no other on the show. It had exciting spots. The action was rough and not a single dull moment. I didn't even look to the side when watching it. That's how much I was into the match itself. It connected perfectly in all areas and showed that these two sides could do no wrong. If they wrestled for another 20 minutes, I would have had no problem. The ending to top it all off was excellent and indicates Sheamus isn't done with Imperium. Maybe not at the moment, but perhaps WrestleMania. It's just me speculating, but he has to be the guy to beat him. Sheamus has one title that's eluded him, the IC title. He's massively over at this point, and it makes sense. Good opener. Probably match of the night, but there's something else I preferred a little bit more. The next match was the Smackdown Women's Championship. Liv Morgan defended the title against Ronda Rousey in an Extreme Rules match. Okay, throughout the build, they tried convincing you that Liv Morgan was ready. She found her edge, and she was going to display this newfound aggression in this match. Did that happen? Well, kinda. The match had my attention early on, but then they brought the weapons. Ronda was smacking her ass with a bat like it's the only area in her body. The action looked soft at times, especially the chair shots from Liv. And the match itself was one of the matches on the show. That's literally what I can describe it as. Ronda won it with a submission hold, and I don't know why, but Liv was smiling throughout this. For a moment, I thought those fantasy bookers were gonna go crazy. It's The Fiend who did this, but that doesn't look to be the case. Who knows though? The match wasn't even disappointing to me because I didn't really care for it. It just happened. The next match was a strap match between Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre. Kross is back without the whole gimp gimmick. He's got this mysterious thing going on initially. I didn't really care for him, but he's growing on me a bit. Not a lot, but just a little. This match's result is obvious as day. For him to be treated like a big deal, he has to win, but similar to the last match, something was off. It was much better, but that isn't saying much in itself. It also didn't help that the match involved the strap, which kind of harmed it. The standout moment wasn't even from the action, rather the ending where Kross basically relied on his girl, Scarlett, to spray McIntyre with mace, allowing for him to drop Drew with the forearm to win it. It's definitely not over between these two, but in their first outing, it was average. The next match is for the Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair, the EST, defends the title against Bayley in a ladder match. It's hard to believe, but this was the first ever singles women's ladder match. This was actually good, which was a nice change of pace from the last 2 matches. The ladder match itself isn't going to be a standout, but it was a great addition to the show and brought variety. Some of the spots did look far too brutal. Bayley near the end looked hurt after the KOD. Bianca looked like prime John Cena, overcoming the odds single-handedly. She took out the tag team champions like they were nothing and continued where she left off. I really thought Bayley would win this to establish Damage Control as this big faction with all the titles. Plus the last 3 or 4 times she faced Bianca, she lost. As for Bianca's next challenger, scratch that, her next big challenger, there's not many on Raw. Rhea Ripley should come back soon, but it's a big match, and I don't think it's something for Crown Jewel. So at least one person, Charlotte, and that's what I think will happen. Charlotte's probably going to be the one to end the title reign. And it's like the last few years in the NBA. The Warriors always come around. In European football, Real Madrid always come around. And the women's division, it's always Charlotte. That's how it is at the end of the day. As for Damage Control, I think they needed this. I feel like for them to have been established as this big faction, they needed to win this match, but it is what it is. The next match was an I Quit match. Finn Balor faces Edge. I don't think this was even a dream match of mine because I never even considered it. Edge was retired while Finn was doing his thing, and suddenly it turns into a possibility. Ever since Judgment Day got rid of Edge and became their own guys, it was an uphill battle. The booking for the group was very inconsistent. They weren't really liked or hated by the audience. On paper, they were unbeaten, but something had to change, and the inclusion of Dominic really turned things around. It also helps that they aren't the WWE's House of Black or some dark faction. They're just douchey, and that's what works best. This match is my favorite of the night. It starts off cold a bit. The part where they brawled in the crowd was a bit but the moment Damian Priest interfered, the match kicked up higher than Riddle on 420. It was overbooked as hell, but man, did it enhance the match greatly. Judgment Day were giving Edge a beating, then Ray comes out, gets his ass kicked by his own son, which got me laughing the entire time. This guy fought for for him 17 years ago, and now he's out here being dominated like he's a stranger by his own son. And it got to the point where Beth Phoenix got involved because Edge was handcuffed and the crowd was all in. It had a classic wrestling vibe to it, and that's what helped it stand out on this card. So many exciting moments to it. Dom at one point got his receipt from last month, and Michael Cole on commentary was on the verge of going into that ring and following up with a low blow of his own. It was amazing, and then to top it all off, Judgment Day took control and they whooped Edge's ass. He had hit like 3 spears on Balor, but they had the advantage at this point. Finn drops him with like 3 coup de grace, but he refused to quit, so they threatened to hit the concerto on Beth. That was enough for the I Quit, and even then, Rhea still did it, saying Edge taught them too well, and it resembled something Edge himself would have done in the past. It was a case of him teaching others his old tricks, but yeah, great match. There was this cool down moment where I feared that it would disappoint, because people were like, oh, Edge has been disappointing this year, this and that. But it didn't. Everyone looked strong. Edge didn't really lose on his own accord. The Judgment Day have more heat than ever. They finally clicked. Finn Balor actually wins when it matters most. And now Rhea's going to feud with Beth Phoenix. So all's good. The feud by the looks of it is far from over. Perhaps War Games will be the conclusion. You know, we'll probably see Judgment Day versus Edge, Ray, Beth, and Styles. One thing for certain is that this was match of the night for me. Michael Cole's world class on commentary, which is weird saying, but then again, Pat McAfee unlocked him a while later, so there's that. The Miz in other places was being stalked by the Philadelphia Flyers is gritty, and I got to the point where Miz fought him, and once again, he was met with Dexter. I don't know or think this storyline's leading to something, but it's fun. Miz is always getting his ass kicked. He never even looked good once. It's very fun and entertaining. And the main event, the fight pit. Seth Rollins faces Matt Riddle with the special referee being Daniel Cormier, DC. I thought it was awesome that they brought in DC for this one. He's a big wrestling fan and has made it clear for years now. Hell, his favorite wrestler at one point was Seth Rollins. This feud has been intense for about 2 months now. They did the Jones and DC thing to build heat for their match at Clash at the Castle. It was pretty good. The fight pit itself was a fresh addition. It once again gives variety. And this one felt like the culmination of the feud, although some believe that it wasn't. It was pretty good. The fight pit gave the match a gritty feeling. Riddle hit this floating brawl from the top that looked so damn awkward. He just landed on his back, and even though it face it looks like Rollins took most of the bump, it seems like Riddle hurt himself. The ending was very MMA-esque with the sudden finish of Rollins tapping out, and it made sense. It also made sense for Riddle to win. I mean, it's his environment. The win is pretty damn huge, and it got me thinking this guy is closer to the world title than he is to the mid-card. He's doing so well this year. Then right after the match, the show's ending, and the lights went out, and it was a long-ass reveal of Firefly Funhouse characters, the pig, the rabbit, all of the characters. They're brought to life by the looks of it. And to top it all off, the Fiend popped up and the crowd was going crazy. This big-ass reveal, through the light emerges Bray Wyatt with the lantern, and he unmasked. And when the reveal happened, it was something special. The crowd reaction is probably off the top of my head the loudest since John Cena's return last year. Bray Wyatt's back, like damn. I love the QR code thing because it gave a little depth to the style of the product. We all knew it was going to be Bray Wyatt. Rabbit, this and that, let me in, whatever. We knew it was going to be him, but the journey of getting there was fun. To think it all started from a live event is something else. But yeah, he's back. People are probably going to be complaining about him in a few months, but we're going to look at this return. We're going to think, damn, this was something special. And that's exactly what it was, because I'm not going to think about his future, his book, and this and that. I'm looking at the moment, and now he's back, and it was something special. So yeah. Alright, Extreme Rules 2022 was good. It wasn't great or anything like that. The middle part of the show, the Extreme Rules match and the strap match were just forgettable. Edge and Finn almost disappointed me, but the overbooking really helped it, this and that. Bianca Belair looked so damn strong out there. She almost looked like 2007 John Cena. And the opener was really probably one of the best matches overall from a WWE pay-per-view this year. From a match quality standpoint, that's the best match on the show. The main event, good. It wasn't great, it wasn't amazing or anything like that, but it felt rough, it felt gritty. It felt the culmination of the feud, although, as I said, some people believe that it wasn't. And Bray Wyatt's return, what more can we possibly say? It was something special, it was amazing. It really makes you interested in seeing what he's going to do next. Alright, what do you guys think of Extreme Rules 2022? Please comment down below, and that's the first video. Make sure you hit the coup de grace on the like button, and perhaps the curb stomp on the subscribe button. Peace, I'm out.